So for materials, we need our sugar beads. This size 10 sugar beads. So you can use your pepper bead size 8 or size 10 for this bag design too. Or if what you have is those round acrylic beads, you can use them also. Or even the normal berry beads, the round berry beads, you can use them also. To be 0.7 fishing line, and of course we'll be needing our cutter. Then other optional materials we'll be needing are this back chain. Is optional if you want to add it to yours, no problem. Then these O-rings. So to start, we are going to put 3 beads into our fishing line, and then we cross with 1 bead to give us a ring of 4. We put 3 beads in our fishing line, and then we cross with 1 bead to give us a ring of 4. Just like this. I already made a detailed tutorial on how to make 4-ring beaded mats. So make sure you watch that video before watching this one, so that you can understand very well. So this is our first ring of 4. Then we continue by putting a bead on our left fishing line and a bead on our right fishing line, and then we cross with another bead to give us our second ring of 4. Just like this. Make sure you are holding your work very tight. So now we have 2 rings. We continue by putting 1 bead on our left fishing line, another one on our right fishing line, and then we cross with 1 bead to give us a third ring of 4. So we continue building this by putting 1 bead on our right fish line, 1 on our left fish line, and then crossing with 1 bead until we have 14 rings. We are making a mat of 15 by 12, a 15 by 12 beaded mat. So we have 14 rings. We have to make 14 rings, and then we cross with 1. So I'm going to make my own 14 rings off camera now. Then when I'm at 14 ring, I'll come back. So now I have my 14 rings. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. We are turning at the 15th ring, and to do that we put 2 beads on any of our fish line, the left or the right, and then we cross with 1 to make the first turn. So we put 2 beads on either the left or the right fish line. I'm putting 2 beads on the right fish line now, and then we cross with 1 to make our first turn. So now we've made our first turn. Then to make the second turn, we put 2 beads on the fish line away from the work, which is this right fish line, and then we cross with 1 bead again. So we put 2 beads on the fish line away from the work, and then we cross with 1 bead to make our second turn. So now I've successfully turned, and then we can start working on the second row this way. I'm right-handed, so I need to turn this way so that I can be very comfortable working. So to continue working on our second row now, what we have to do is to insert our right fishing line into the next bead here. So you insert your right fishing line into this bead here, just like this, and then on the left fishing line you put 1 bead, and then you cross with 1. The left fishing line you put 1 bead, and then we cross with 1. I already made a very detailed video on how to make beaded mats, so make sure you see that video first before continuing with this, because that's explaining everything very well. Then we continue by putting our right fish line into the next bead, just like this. Then on our left fishing line you add 1 bead, and then you cross with 1. Just like this. So we continue this same way until we get to the bead before the last there. So we continue inserting our right fish line into the next bead and continue building this row. Then I'll meet you at this very point, this bead before the last. So I'm back and now I'm at the ring before the last. So why I told us to stop here is because we are going to be turning on this last ring. So to make our first turn, we put our right fish line into that bead there. Then on the same right fish line, we put one bead and then we cross with one to make our first turn. So put one bead and then we cross with one. To make our first turn just like this. Then to make the second turn on the same fishing line away from our work, this same right fishing line, we put two beads and then we cross with one. So we put two beads and then we cross with one. So this is our 1 2 beads and then we are crossing with this one. So now we've made our second turn and then we can start working on our third row. On our third row, see the same thing we did with the second row. We put our right fishing line into the next bead over there. Then on the left fishing line, we put one bead and cross with one. On the left fishing line like this, we put one bead and then we cross with one. Please take note that anywhere I say you should cross, you can either cross or loop depending on the method you wish to use. You can either use the crossing method or the looping method. If you know you can drag your fishing line very well, you can use the crossing method. But if you know you cannot drag your fishing line very well, then you can use the looping method. Either, in fact, even if you use the crossing method or the looping method, you still need to drag the fishing line very well. But I prefer using the looping method because it makes your work firmer and it makes your back more sturdy. So you can, anywhere I say cross, you can either cross or loop. That's just the point I'm driving at. So we continue this way until we get to the last bead over here again, and then we cross on this one. So I'm going to walk off camera now, and then I'll meet you at this bead before the last, so we can cross on this one. I'm already at the last string here, so we are turning just like we did with the turn we made on the second row. Insert our right fish line into that bead, then on the same right fish line we put one bead and then we cross or loop with one to make our first turn. So we made our first turn. Then on the same right fish line, that's the fish line away from the work, we put two beads and then we cross or loop with one to make our second turn. So now we successfully turned and now we can start working on our fourth row. So we need to make a row of 12. We are making 12 rows because we're making a 15 by 12 mat. So make your 12 rows and then we meet when you are done with the 12 rows. I'm going to work on my 12 camera now and then we meet after that. So now I already have my 15 by 12 mats here. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So this is what you should have at this point. Then we are going to replicate exactly what we did and make another 15 by 12 mats. So this is my second 15 by 12 mats. Now I have my two 15 by 12 mats. The next step now is to join these two mats. Some other people just do their mat straight, then they start dividing. But I'm more comfortable doing it separately then join together, because when it becomes too long it can be cumbersome working with. So I'm more comfortable doing the two mats separately, then joining them together. If you are okay with doing your mats just once, then that's fine. So for some people, instead of making two 15 by 12 mats, they can just do 15 by 24 straight up. But let me explain this, that the number of rows you will have on your mat, like the rows, the column, and everything, depends on how big you want your bag to be. So for example now, I want my bag to be 10 rows on one side, 10 rows on the other side, then the base to be 5. So I have 10 plus 10, that's 20, plus 5, that's 25. So that means I'm making 25 rows. That's why I did 12 first, 12 second, 24. Then I'm joining with one to make it 25. So let's assume you want a smaller bag. Maybe you want something like 8 on one side, 8 on the other side, and then 5 at the base. That'll be 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 5. That'll be 20, 21. So you can make 10, 10, and then you join with one to make 21. I hope you understand that part. So now let's join. To join, we are going to insert our fishing line into this last bit here. Then we insert one bit, and then we join to this second end of the other mat here, and then we cross with one bead. So you can either cross or loop with one bead. Just make sure that the two ends of your fish line are equal, because you don't want one side to be longer than the other. Then you have this. Then we continue by inserting our right fish line into the next bead here, and the left fish line into the next bead on the left side, and then we cross with one. And then we cross with one bead, either cross or loop. I'm going to loop this time around. Then we loop with one bead. And then we continue again by inserting the right fish line into the next bead on the right, and then the left fish line to the next bead on the left. Then we cross with one bead, either cross or loop. So this is what we are going to do until we get to the very end here. Then we tie our bead, our fishing line, and then end the work. So let's continue. Okay, so this is what I have after joining the two mats together. Now, if you count, I have 15 by 25. So this is 15 and this is 25. So the next thing to do now is to give our back shape. Remember I said I want 10 rows on each side. So the next thing now is to count my 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to fold at this point. If your bag is not stiff like this, then that means you did something wrong. That means you did something wrong. Your bag should be, you see the way I folded it and it's standing. This is how your bag should stand. If your bag is not standing like this, lose it and start all over again. So this is my first 10. And I'll count 10 from this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. then I'll fold at this point. So I've folded now, and this is what I have. The next step now is just to cover these two sides. So this is what your work should be looking like after folding. Then the next step now is just to join this side together and this side together. So let's get right into doing that. So now to join the two sides, we are joining this side to this side. So we start by putting our fishing line into this last bit at this corner, just like this. Then into this other bit at the corner, like this. So now that we've inserted our fishing line into the two bits at the corner, then on the right hand side, we are going to put one bead and then cross with one. On the right fishing line, we put one bead and then we cross with one. So this is what you should have after doing that. Then you continue by inserting the next fishing line into the next bit here. Insert your fishing line into the next bit here. Then on the other end of your fishing line, you add one bead and then you cross with one. So you can either cross or depending on that you prefer. Just make sure that whatever you are doing, you are holding your fishing line very tight. Then we cross with another one. So this is what we have now. So we continue the same process of inserting our fishing line into the next bead. Insert your fishing line into the next bead. Then on the other end of the fishing line, you add one bead. Then you cross or loop with one. I'm looping now with this one. Continue by inserting our fishing line into the next bead. Then on the other end of the fishing line, we cross. We insert one bead first, then we cross or loop with one. I'm looping now. So now I'm at the other corner here. That's the last bit here. I'm going to call this a dead end. So at this point, we insert our fishing line into this last bit here and into this other one at the corner too, just like this. And then we are going to just cover this space with one bead. You know, we are forming a ring of at least 1, 2, 3 beads already. So we just need to cover here with one bead. So you either cross or you loop with one bead. So I'm looking now with just one bead, just like this. So after crossing with one bead over here, then we have to continue with the second row, and to do that, we start our fishing line into the next bead here, the next bead at that corner. Then on this left fishing line, we add one bead and then we cross with one. Just like this. So now we've successfully turned, and now we can start building this second row too by inserting our right fishing line into the next bead. Then on the left fishing line, we insert one bead and then we cross with one. You can either cross or loop, anyone you decide to use is fine. So you cross or you loop with one. Just make sure that whichever method you use, make sure you're holding your fishing line very tight. So we continue by inserting our right fishing line into the next bead. Then on the left fishing line, we put one bead and then we cross with another one. cross, either cross or loop with another one. Then you continue, you start your right fishing line into the next bead. The left fishing line, you start one bead and then you cross or loop with another one, just like so. So now at the last bead at this corner, and just like we did with the first row, we start our right fishing line into this last bead, then the other bead at the corner, and then we cross with one bead. And then we cross with one bead. So now we've completed the second rule of joining. And to continue, we put our right fish line to that next bead at the corner, and on the same right fish line that is away from our work, we start one bead and then we cross with one, so we can start working on the third row. So this is what we are going to do until we fill up these entire parts of the bag. So this is what we are going to continue doing as we fill up this entire part of the bag. I'm going to walk off camera now so you can continue with yours too, and then we meet when we are done. So now I'm done with my own side of the bag. What we are going to do now is to repeat the exact same thing we did on this side on the other side of the bag too. So when you are done with that, you have a complete bag, not really complete though, but now you have the two sides of the bag covered. So now that we have the both sides of our bag covered, the next thing we want to do now is to give our bag shape by the side, so we can add our ring. I'm going to be using this one with clamps, so we can add our ring and the clamps. So the next step now is just to give our bag shape by the side. So to give our bag shape, we are going to start by passing our fish line through the center 3 beads on the side of the bag. You remember the side of our bag is, on the side of our bag we have 5 rings. That's 1 2 3 4 5. So we pass our fish line through these center 3 rings first of all, and then we cross with one bead. So you pass your fish line through the 3 rings at the center, and then we cross with one bead. So we cross with one bead, just like this. Make sure this is very tight. So now you can see that we have a ring of 4 at the top, but to make our work easier, we are just going to fold the side of the bag so that the 3 rings are at the center. So we fold this side like this, then we fold this other side too, like this. So now the 3 rings are at the center, and then when you cross, you have your 4 rings, just like this. So we continue by inserting our right fish line into the next bead, that's this bead on the side, and then we also insert the left fish line into this bead by the corner here. That's if you expand it like this, that's the 1 2, that's the number 2 bead from the right, 1, then 1 2, number 2 bead from the left. So you put your right fish line to 1 2, number 2 bead from the right, and your left fish line 1 2 into number 2 bead by your left, just like this. And then we cross with another one bead. Then we cross with another one bead. So I'm going to fold back. This is what I have. If you don't want to put your ring, if you don't want to put the o-ring, you can actually leave your bag like this. If you don't want to put the o-ring, you can actually leave your bag like this. You've successfully shaped this side, or if you like, you can just do one more step. But I want to put my ring. So to put our ring now, we have to pass our fishing line through the ring. Pass our fishing line through the ring first. That's the two ends of our fishing line. Pass it through the ring. Then we pass our fishing line the left side through the second one, through the second bead from the left, just like we did the other time, like this. And of course the right side also through the second bead from the right. The only we can see what I'm doing, 1 2. So we pass it just like this, and then we close with 1 bead. Just make sure what you are doing is very tight. Now always make emphasis on making it very tight. So this is what we have. So now after doing that, all we just have to do is to pass our fishing line through the body of the bag and then tie off, so we can end the fishing line successfully. So I'm going to pass my fishing line to come out somewhere inside, so the knots can be inside. Then I'm going to cut off my fishing line. So now this is what I have after cutting my fishing line. So this is how our bag is shaped now on this side. This is how it's shaped now on this side. If you want, you can make the tacking on this side longer than this. You can do like 4-5 steps. Imagine if we fix this to this point. So this is what we are going to have. I think I just did 2. I did just 2 here. So you can do as many as you want. So now we are going to repeat the exact same thing we did on this side, on this second side. So now I've done both sides of the bag, and this is what it looks like. So this is what the bag looks like. What we have to do now is to fix the handle of the bag. We have to fix the handle for the bag and then a cover. But if you don't want to fix the cover, you can just put your drawstring pouch inside. Then you definitely need to fix the handle for the bag. Or you can just, if you don't want to fix the handle too, you can just attach a chain to this ring. Then that can serve as your handle. So anyhow you want it, you can just go with it. This video is already getting too long, so I'm going to make a separate video with part 2 on how to fix the handle of the bag, and then how to fix the cover also. So after watching this video, make sure you watch the second one, the part 2 of the tutorial on how to fix the handle and the cover.